Hi everyone, I'm Roxy, and if you're new to my channel, I'm so happy to have you here, and if you've always been here, then welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to share with you 10 habits that you should start in 2021, or whenever you're watching this. These are great habits to start anytime in your life. Don't be daunted by the fact that it's not January and you may feel like if it's too late to set goals. It's definitely not. You can set goals or start new habits anytime during the year. So whenever you're watching this, these are great habits to start trying in your life. My first habit is to start being really specific about your goals. So don't just set a goal and say, oh yeah, my goal is to read 5 books every year. Be specific about the exact type of books you want to read, the names. Get some names of books and you're going to be like, okay, today I'm going to read Girl Boss and I'm going to read that in the month of March. And then my next book for April is going to be Like a Boss by Lily Singh. Don't say my goal is I want to work out. Say my goal is I want to work out 3 times a week for 15 minutes. So that is something that you should really start doing, because if you have really vague goals, you really would not know what you want to do. You wouldn't know what you want to achieve, and then you won't really have like a direction or a sense of purpose towards that goal, and it will make you less likely to achieve it. My next habit is one that I love, and that is to start taking a little notebook or even your phone, the notes app on your phone. It's actually funny because I have all of my video idea on my notes app on my phone, and then I just go ahead and print it out and stick it into a notebook, because for me there's literally nothing that has the feeling of using a pen and paper and notebooks. If you are a tech person, definitely use that notes app on your phone. It comes in so handy. And if you're like me and if you're always on the go and you have like ideas just popping into your head, write it down in your notes app and then you could go ahead and just print it out and stick it into your notebook, which is what I do. This is a really great idea because it allows you to do a brain dump, which means that it just allows you to get all of your brilliant ideas out of your head and onto something where you can see it and read it and go over it at a later date. So many times we have these like amazing ideas and then completely forget about it because we didn't write it down. Our minds are always being stimulated, so there's no way that we are going to remember every single thing that we think of, which is why I just love the idea of just typing things out on your notes app or just carrying around a pocket notebook, so that way you will never forget anything. And this will also help you feel so much less overwhelmed, especially if you have a ton of things to do and you just don't know where to get started, or you can't see it all because it's all cluttered in your head. Even when you're going to sleep and you have like a really good idea, just like reach for a pen and paper or reach for your phone notes app and write it down, because if it's a really great idea, you are going to regret it if you completely forget about it. So don't be that person, okay? This third habit is one that I was trying out for a while, and that is basically to start writing down all of the things that you've accomplished in your life as they happen. As we all have really miserable and down days where we just don't feel like if we're doing anything substantial in life, we feel lost, we feel confused, we just don't have that sense of inspiration and purpose, and sometimes we might just feel really disheartened by it all. But that's where writing down all of the amazing things that you've done and that you've worked on and that you've achieved come in so handy. So don't let the entire year pass by, because you're going to forget some of the things that you've achieved. You're going to forget some of the goals that you've set. Looking back on 2020, so many exciting things happened in my life, and what I ended up doing is just writing down a list of all the months, so January to December. And by the time I finished that list, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, 2020 really was not that much of a bad year as I thought it was, and I only realized it after I wrote down all the amazing things that happened to it. So if you're starting a new year, or if this is a new year, or if you're just watching this video for the first time and you didn't think about doing this, keep a little list going from January to December of all the good things that happen in your life, all the things that you have achieved, and give yourself some credit for the hard work that you've put in, and actually take time to celebrate yourself, because you really might not be giving yourself the credit that you deserve, and you really might be beating yourself up when in reality you're just doing so much. This list is also really good because it will help to inspire you and motivate you on those days when you just feel so miserable and so down and you feel like you have nothing to look forward to. Take a read through your list and you definitely will have a change of perspective. I guarantee you when you read this list over. Read a few pages of an inspirational or self-help book every single day. I love this idea because sometimes I know we always say that we don't have time to read. I've been there, I've done that. Right before bed even, a 15-minute read is not gonna like, you know, make you feel like if you're doing a chore or something like that. The reason why I set a self-help or an inspirational book every single day is just so that you will always be continually inspired, you'll always be learning something new, you'll always be getting something from somebody else's perspective and just having a different outlook on life, which is why I think reading is just so important. And I also have some girl boss books suggestions that I think will be really great. So if you'd like to see a video on that, definitely let me know and I can probably do a book haul for you, because I have a ton of books that I've been reading and loving. If you start feeling overwhelmed by this task, just give yourself like 5 minutes. If you don't want to work with time, maybe you can say read a chapter every day. But I feel like if a chapter can be really long, and if you're now starting off so you wouldn't be overwhelmed, you can say like 5 minutes and then work your way up, and before you know it, you're reading like 20 minutes every single day, which is quite a lot if you really think about it. So this habit is really personal to my life because it's something that I'm really trying to do, and that is shift towards a more minimalist lifestyle in terms of not impulse buying and just buying random things whenever I see it, but really taking the time to ask myself, why do I want to buy it? Is this necessary? I'm really trying to implement this in my life personally, so I wouldn't just be wasting money on things that I don't actually need and that does not spark joy and does not bring purpose to my life. So I really want to buy more things with intent behind it, rather than just randomly going crazy and spending money on things I really don't need and might not even use by the next week or even month. I really love the idea of just taking a few minutes, ask yourself if it really sparks joy and has purpose and meaning in your life, and then maybe seeing if you should continue to purchase it. Oh my goodness, this habit is all about setting boundaries on social media. So I have done the best thing in my life, and that is basically to set screen time on my phone, where you set app limits or time limits for each app. So Instagram is the top of my list for my app limits. I literally shut that off. So a lot of my social media apps are shut off from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. and this has literally been the best decision. Literally, I can't even stress to you how life-changing this is for me. I also have app limits. I also have time limits on my app. So for instance, Instagram is like 3 hours, I think. Some days I'm like, how did I spend 3 hours out of 24 hours in a day on Instagram? Doing what? God alone, I literally don't know. And when I see that, it doesn't make me feel good about myself, because like, what am I doing? There's so many things I could be doing in that 3 hours. Why am I scrolling mindlessly on social media? So that's why I love my app limits so much, and I especially love that nighttime app lock off. For me, you can obviously set it for later times, but I love this because I wake up really early and hit the gym, and when I'm at the gym, it allows me to really focus on my workouts instead of like scrolling. I'm able to have such a good morning. I did not consume social media as soon as I woke up, which is just such a refreshing feeling. Honestly, if you did not do this, I highly recommend it. If it's one habit to do from my list, is definitely this one. It is going to change your life and you will feel so amazingly refreshed. I feel like if you'll feel so much lighter because you would not be stuck consuming so much social media, and you will be able to go ahead and live your life instead of living life on a screen. I should mention though that you are able to still click on your apps, but it just gives you a little reminder of like 1 minute or 15 minutes. So if I really feel like I need to scroll, I do like 15 minutes, and when that 15 minutes is up, you'll see the little timer come on again and the app will like kind of close off. I literally cannot live without this. It is my #1 recommendation to do in this life. And with your newfound time, you can do so much things, whether it's focusing on your hobby, your small business. If you reduce your social media and your scrolling time, who knows what you might be able to do. So that's something to definitely think about. I once read a book called Ikigai. It is a Japanese way of life, basically, which tells you that you should live your life with meaning, purpose, and intent. So it has a lot to do with the concept that finding happiness and living your best life is because you are driven by a purpose. So this habit has to do with starting projects that make you feel fulfilled and give you purpose. I often find when I'm working on projects for my business or my brand, I feel so excited. I feel like I have energy to wake up on mornings. I feel like if I have something to look forward to, it definitely makes you feel so different when you have projects that make you feel fulfilled versus just continuously living a mundane everyday life with nothing exciting to look forward to. So think about starting a project. Maybe it's like a renovation, or building a new piece of furniture, or painting a new picture, or building a puzzle, or just small little DIY projects. something that makes you feel excited and motivated and just makes you want to get up every single day, because that is literally what life is about, just looking forward to every single day, being so excited and blessed and thankful to have a new day where you can do so much things. It would be so boring if we just live the same day over and over, and the only way to get out of feeling stuck or being in a rut is to just keep doing new things. So that's why working on a project can be so fulfilling and, you know, give you something to look forward to. Let me just tell you that burnout is so real. I was so burnt out last year. That was the first time I had an idea of what burnout was. I am my own boss and it's just so much fun, let me just say. But there's a time when burnout happens, when you just feel so uninspired to do everything, and I felt like if I first had a taste of that last year, I launched my 2021 collection. It was like one of the best moments and experiences of my life, just pouring all of my energy and having so much passion because of this purpose that I had to, you know, have this amazing collection. But after that was finished, I felt like if I literally couldn't do anything. It was not a nice feeling at all, just feeling so, I don't know how to explain it, but if you've had burnout, then you know what I'm talking about, where you just feel so uninspired, you just don't want to do anything, you just feel as if your mind is just completely blank and you don't know what to do. If I didn't take a break before this year started, it had no way that I would have been able to come back and create new things this year. Do not overwork yourself or run yourself down to the ground, because there will come a time when you literally will not be able to function. Definitely don't forget to schedule in some time for yourself, take some breaks, so you will be able to reset and refresh yourself, and you'll be able to do so much more with your life, with a new change of perspective, go somewhere new, take a few days off to do literally absolutely no work. Let me just say, it will feel so good. Then you'll be able to be like, okay, yes, I can continue now, instead of just being like, oh my god, I don't want to be here, you know? That is how I felt. I was like, if I don't take a break, I will not want to come back to work, and that can't happen. So this is something that you've heard me talk about a million times, and that is basically to do a 10-minute tidy. I'm such a fan of this method because it takes just 10 minutes and you will be so surprised at how much you do. So before you go to sleep every single night, or when you wake up, if you have more time that way, depending on how your lifestyle is. The reason why I love doing it the night before is so that I can wake up feeling refreshed, energized. I don't have to wake up and the first thing I see is a ton of clutter that will just immediately dampen my mood, because I'm sure you get in such a good mood when your space around you is really put to rest and just really nice to wake up to. My last habit is reducing your waste and living more sustainably. So for me, that is definitely cutting down on plastic water bottles, maybe cutting down on straws and one-time use plastic. I definitely am taking small baby steps whenever I could. So don't feel like if by making small changes to use less one-time plastic things is not gonna make a difference. It is. That is something that I'm definitely working on in my life, and it's something that I really want to get better at this year and for many years to come. Okay, so that is the end of my video on 10 habits that you should start in 2021, or whenever you're watching this video. There really is no specific set time to start trying these habits, because all of them are really good lifestyle habits that will definitely help you change your life. So thumbs this video up if it gave you any inspiration, and you can also comment down below with your own tips so we can all read it. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button, because I have so much amazing lifestyle content coming your way that I don't want you to miss out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah.